Deep in the Hindu Kush mountains, archaeologists found a forbidden amphitheater. It wasn't for plays. The floor is a grid of 64 huge stone slabs, and spectral analysis reveals that the rock is soaked meters deep with human blood. They found scrolls describing a lost game of the ancient nobility. They called it Shah-i-Mort, the king's death. We know it today as chess, but on this board, pieces weren't made of wood or ivory. They were made of flesh, steel, and fear. The front line, the pawns, these were starving slaves or criminals, no armor, no hope. Armed only with a rusty dagger or a sharpened bone, their job was simple: die to open a path or pray for a miracle. The Rook was a mobile fortress, a heavy wooden siege tower on wheels, pushed by mute servants. Inside, 2 elite archers rained death from above. To a pawn, this wasn't an enemy, it was a moving building that breathed fire. The knight was pure terror, a heavy cavalryman on an armored horse, a tank of the ancient world. With a 3-meter lance and a curved saber, he could trample a dozen pawns without slowing down. Speed was his weapon. The bishop, in these scrolls he is the beast, a giant of a man, clad in thick rhino-like plate armor, wielding a hammer so heavy no normal man could lift it. He didn't fight, he crushed. And the queen, not a ruler but an executioner, dressed in dark flowing silk, face hidden, dual scimitars, faster than a heartbeat. She was the ultimate weapon, beautiful, silent, and absolutely lethal. The rules were brutal. When a knight attacked a pawn, it was usually a massacre. However, it wasn't guaranteed. Even a slave with a knife has a 1% chance to cut a horse's tendon. If he survived the charge, he earned his life. But here is the rule that changed everything. If a player made a mistake and left a powerful piece, like a bishop, vulnerable to a pawn's attack, the rule of hubris was invoked. The strong were forced to become weak. The game paused. The giant had to drop his hammer. He had to unbuckle his heavy armor. He was stripped down to nothing but a loincloth and given a rusty knife. He was physically dragged down to the level of the slave who caught him. Now it was a fair fight in the dirt. If the slave won, the giant's throat was cut, and the pawn took the square. One mistake by the general in the stands meant a humiliating death for his best warrior on the sand. And the king, he never fought. He watched from the center, surrounded by gold, while his army died around him. Because in Shah-i-Mort, like in real life, the poor die first, so the king can survive one more turn.